So we've got our start screen set up. Now, what happens when we click that start button on our start screen? Well, the answer to that is we need to land at a menu. And we're going to make a menu that will give you the ability to choose from a number of different kinds of shapes to use or to calculate in your geometry calculator. So here's how to go through that process. Again, we're going to set up this second screen, which will be basically our main menu screen. So to do that, first thing we need to do is add a screen. We do that through our toolbox, and in our toolbox we see a screen option. We're going to click and drag a screen into our little phone emulator there, and you can see that comes up as screen 2. But screen 2 is not the name that I want for this, so I'm going to change that name from screen 2 to shape menu. And that shape menu, to me, it's just going to be a menu of all the different kinds of shapes we're going to be able to choose from. Instead of an image for this background, I'm going to make this background a color. And my favorite color in the world is red. So I'm going to choose a red tone. Whoa, that's not as red as I wanted it. Let's try again. There we go. That's more red. So I've got a red here, and I'm just going to use it. What color specifically you use, you can make decisions based on the other objects that will go into your screen, and that does make a lot of sense in terms of what we're going to do. For this shape menu, what we're going to use is some of the images that we've downloaded. We're going to use those as buttons in our shape menu so that the user will look at the screen, see that they've got different kinds of shapes, and choose on or click on the shape that they've got as the shape that they're wanting to calculate for area. So we're going to drag in 2 image blocks. I'm going to put an image block here near the top of the screen. I'm going to put another image block down here a little lower on the screen. And if you're noticing these little drag lines, I am trying to line up those 2 with each other, although there's really no great reason to do that because I'm going to have to resize all of those images and all that kind of thing in order to make them work. I'm going to click on the top image, and you can see it comes in as image 1. I'm going to change the name of that so that, again, it's a useful name that's going to resonate with me. It's going to cue my memory and make sure that I know what I'm doing when I start coding that. The reason we're naming all these things is to make sure that when we're coding, we can recall what the thing was. It's not like button 1 or button 7. We don't know what that is. So giving it solid names does make some sense. I'm going to name this triangle button, because even though it's not a button, we're going to use it in our application as though it was a button. So triangle button is what I'm going to do. And again, all of these things in terms of all these things we can edit don't really matter. What does is the image we're going to select. So we're going to go down here. We're going to choose an image. And again, we're going to go to upload file. I should already have all those files downloaded. So we're going to look for the image that we're looking for. I downloaded those images, you can see, not just yesterday. So we're looking for triangle for menu. But you can see I've got a couple of them here, and this one's a JPEG document, a JPEG file, and that's not going to be transparent background, which I really want, especially since I colored my screen. So I'm going to choose triangle for download PNG file, and for you, you shouldn't have to make those decisions because, again, the files we downloaded were PNG, so we should be in good shape. Triangle for menu, I'm going to click open, and again, I don't need to click on it. I can just click the choose button, and you can see that pops the image into my screen. I'm going to resize that image, but before I do, I'm going to go and do the same basic thing with that second image. So click on the second image. I'm going to change the name of that to quad button. I could spell out quadrilateral button, but that's just more typing than I really want to do. So quad button will work. And again, I'm going down to the menu, the image. I'm going to click on choose. I'm going to click upload file, and then I'm going to find that quad for menu image, and again, the PNG version of that. I click open, there it is. I can click choose, and then bamity bam bam, that image pops into my screen. So right now I've got my 2 images, but they're teeny tiny. I can't even read what's on them. So I'm definitely going to resize those. I can do that by clicking on them. I'm going to actually move them a little bit and then grab the corner handle. It's the bottom right corner. I'm not sure why they did that, but it is. And just drag that larger, and you can see I want it nice and big in my screen so I can see it. I've only got 2 buttons on this screen, so making those 2 buttons as large as possible does make some sense. Again, in my mind, I'm going to move the quadrilateral button, and again, that corner drag handle, drag it nice and large so I can read that text as well as possible. If I was doing more types of shapes, maybe I'm going to add circles, maybe I'm going to add pentagons, hexagons, heptagons, octagons, nonagons. There's absolutely formulas for finding the area perimeter of all of those kinds of shapes. And you could incorporate all of those kinds of shapes into a geometry calculator. But for now, what we're going to do is set up this simple 2-option main menu, and we'll kind of branch out our options from there. So this is our shape menu as it needs to be. That's really all we need to do. We've got those 2 buttons that are going to give us some options to direct ourselves in, and we'll set up our other menus from here.